Stephen Walsh was a restaurant consultant who, when the coronavirus hit hard in his business, realised he had to think of something else. So he turned his hobby into a way of doing business and a life. Stephen started an online trivia quiz. Nightly online quizzes with contestants from around the world. At some point, there was as many as 500 players during one game. He runs them for 1 hour at a time with 3 sets of questions and 3 minutes to answer them before the captain submits the answers. Stephen's with me now, host of Walsh Trivia. Here's 2 quickies. The country to have more Nobel Prize laureates in literature is, of course?
That is France.
There we go. And the first US presidential inauguration, I'm saying Washington. I'm saying it was Washington, and it was in New York on the steps of Federal Hall. Maybe right, maybe wrong.
New York City on the balcony of Federal Hall is correct.
Oh, good. Now, I'm pretty good, but that's... So tell me, Stephen, where did this come from? I mean, you have to make a business. You started it up. It's been phenomenally successful. What's the secret of its success, do you think?
I think a lot of people were looking for alternative forms of entertainment. They were stuck at home and they needed something, and trivia has always been popular for a certain market. And I work very hard to put a good game out there, and I give people a new game every single night. So a lot of people are now regulars.
And people log on and they play as a team and they play against each other, or are they just playing against you?
So, no, it's a team game, so you play together with family and friends, and you can play with people no matter where they are in the world. And you play against other teams. Sometimes as many as 40 or 50 teams at a time are playing. And I put up the scores at halftime and the end, and then we do some betting on final questions. So, you know, there's a lot of competition there.
So the question we now ask is, how's business?
It's doing great. I definitely wanted to get, as soon as I decided I needed to move forward with it, I wanted to get to market as quick as possible. And a lot of my people are now regulars. So last night, in fact, was my second busiest Wednesday. And I was wondering if maybe things would lighten up once, you know, restrictions started to be lifted. But it seems like it's here to stay.
If we look at the map and we see just where they are, I mean, the beauty of what you're doing is it's global and people can log on from anywhere. Has it got a sell-by date, do you think? When pubs and traditional pub quizzes come back, do you think you'll be able to somehow twist this, or at least give it a new lease of life, a refresher, that you can keep going with it?
Absolutely, Richard. So what's happened is I have focused on making this viable in the long term, and I think a lot of other trivia people were thinking short term and they want to go back to the pubs. What I found is that there's a whole world of people who want to play with family and friends who might be in different states, cities, countries. They can play together with those people now. There's also people that are stuck at home for different reasons, that might not have mobility. They might have mobility issues or anything like that, and they can all play now too.
All right.
You know, and also,
Stephen, here's the promise.
Yeah.
I feel a challenge coming on, Stephen. I feel a challenge coming on, a promise. I think we're going to challenge my colleagues at First Move, Julia Chatterley's lot, to a game. If you'll help us organise it, we will do it. We will obviously win and see those ne'er-do-wells off, and we'll give a good donation to a charity of your choice. There we go. That's the promise for tonight. QMB challenges First Move to a trivia competition. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now,